Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Radha Shama Sundar, Radha Shama Sundar Radhe. Jaya Gora Nitai, Jaya Gora Nitai, Gora Nitai, Jaya Gora Nitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. जय युग धर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद-गीता की, गीता मैराथन की, शील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। We are reading from Bhagavad-gītā, chapter 7, text 25. nāhaṁ prakāśaḥ sarvasya, nāhaṁ prakāśaḥ sarvasya, yoga-māyā-samāvṛtaḥ, yoga-māyā-samāvṛtaḥ, mūḍhoऽyam nābhijānāti, mūḍhoऽyam nābhijānāti, loko ajam avyayam, loko ajam avyayam. nāhaṁ prakāśaḥ sarvasya, yoga-māyā-samāvṛtaḥ, mūḍhoऽyam nābhijānāti, loko ajam avyayam. prakāśaḥ sarvasya, yoga-māyā-samāvṛtaḥ, lokoऽyam nābhijānāti, prakāśaḥ sarvasya, sarvasya, māyā-samāvṛtaḥ, mūḍhoऽyam nābhijānāti, nāhaṁ prakāśaḥ sarvasya, yoga-māyā-samāvṛtaḥ, please. Nāhaṁ prakāśaḥ sarvasya yoga-māyā-samāvṛtaḥ loko nābhijānāti. Nāhaṁ prakāśaḥ sarvasya yoga-māyā-samāvṛtaḥ mūḍho abhijānāti loko mājamv avyayam. Nāhaṁ prakāśaḥ sarvasya yoga-māyā-samāvṛtaḥ mūḍho abhijānāti loko mājamv avyayam. Word by word meaning. Na, not. Aham, I. Prakāśaḥ, manifest. Sarvasya, to everyone. Yoga-māyā, by internal potency. Samāvṛtaḥ, covered. mūḍha, foolish. Ayam, this. Na, not. Abhijānāti, can understand. Loka, persons. Mām, me. Ajam, unborn. Avyayam, inexhaustible. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and infallible. Please chant. I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and infallible. It may be argued that since Krishna was visible to everyone when he was present on this earth, then how can it be said that he is not manifest to everyone? But actually he was not manifest to everyone. When Krishna was present, there were only a few people who could understand him to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the assembly of Kurus, when Śiśupāla spoke against Krishna's being elected president of the assembly, Bhīṣma supported him and proclaimed him to be the Supreme God. Similarly, the Pāṇḍavas and a few others knew that he was the Supreme, but not everyone. He was not revealed to the nondevotees and the common man. Therefore, in the Bhagavad-gītā, Krishna says that, but for his pure devotees, all men consider him to be like themselves. He was manifest only to his devotees as the reservoir of all pleasure, but to others, to unintelligent non-devotees, he was covered by his internal potency. In the prayers of Kunti in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that the Lord is covered by the curtain of yoga-māyā, and thus ordinary people cannot understand him. This yoga-māyā curtain is also confirmed in Bhagavad-gītā mantra 15, in which the devotee prays, Hiranyamayena patrena satya sapihitam mukham tattvam pushan apavrunu satya dharmaya drishtaye. O my Lord, you are the maintainer of the entire universe, and devotional service to you is the highest religious principle. Therefore, I pray that you will also maintain me. Your transcendental form is covered by the yoga-māyā. The Brahma-jyoti is the covering of the internal potency. May you kindly remove this glowing effulgence that impedes my seeing your Sachidanand Vigraha, your eternal form of bliss and knowledge. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, in his transcendental form of bliss and knowledge, is covered by the internal potency of the Brahma Jyoti, and the less intelligent impersonalist cannot see the Supreme on this account. Also in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.7, there in this prayer by Brahma, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Super Soul, O Master of all mystery, who can calculate your potency and pastimes in this world? You are always expanding your internal potency, and therefore no one can understand you. Learned scientists and learned scholars can examine the atomic constitution of the material world or even the planets, but still they are unable to calculate your energy and potency, although you are present before them. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, is not only unborn, but also avyayam, inexhaustible. His eternal form is bliss and knowledge, and his energies are all inexhaustible. Om ajnana-timirandasya jnana-anjana-shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So welcome everyone for this Bhagavad-gītā class. So this is a wonderful chapter titled Knowledge of the Absolute. So starting from this chapter, Krishna speaks about himself. Till now, he was not directly speaking about himself. But here if we see the first shloka of this chapter, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Krishna says, now hear, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. So, starting from this shlok, Krishna starts explaining that what he is. Different. We have gone through this shlok that it is very difficult to know. Many thousands of people try to know Krishna, but out of that hardly one can know him. It is text number 3. Then he explains how can one know him. So he explains these 8 separated energies. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. All together these 8 constitutes my separated material energy. So he keeps on explaining like this, and he gives a thorough understanding about him. Then what are the 4 kind of people who can know him, what are the 4 kind of people who cannot know him. And here he tells in the beginning to Arjuna that he is going to tell him how one can understand about him. After knowing this, nothing is left to be known. But here in this shloka, Krishna tells that I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. So he is also telling who cannot understand Krishna. This chapter is about, he is revealing how to know about Krishna, how to know Krishna. He is revealing that in this chapter actually. But then he is also clarifying that if you are falling in this category, you cannot understand Krishna. So that category is, I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and infallible. So as we know one more shloka in chapter 4, Janma karma chame divyam. So in that it is said that the birth of Krishna is divyam, transcendental. And here it says that Krishna is unborn. So with the so-called intelligence of this material world, we cannot relate this, what Krishna is trying to make here. But in true sense, Krishna is trying to reveal that don't consider me like an ordinary being. Don't consider me like an ordinary being. Like even before this, he is explaining that those who worship demigod, I fix their faith so that they keep worshipping the demigod, and that by fixing that faith, they pray for what they want and the demigod bestow them, but ultimately it goes through me. But then again he says that One who is worshipping demigod is alpamedasham, he is not very intelligent person. So he is very clearly defining things. But this shloka is important in the context that Krishna is also alarming that despite of this openness by the Lord, clearly telling that how to know about him, still there are foolish, there are unintelligent people who cannot understand Krishna. So we take an example of like sun. So where we talk about the unborn. So if somebody doesn't know that sun is always up there, only because it is revolving, it is getting darker here now, sun is set here, we feel that it is gone from here, it is not died, it has just disappeared from this planet and it is appearing somewhere else. So similarly the Lord is unborn. He is appearing and disappearing. And when the cloud, here it is written the yoga-māyā, it is a covering of the Lord. So when the cloud is between the sun and us, we cannot see the sun. Similarly, another important point to understand is how the cloud is formed. Is cloud independent of sun? Can cloud be independently formed of sun? No. Only because of the sun working on the process of evaporation of the water, the clouds are formed. So the formation of the cloud is depending on the sun. So yoga-māyā works as per the direction of the Supreme Lord. Yoga-māyā is not independently working. So Krishna decides whom he will reveal, whom he will not reveal. Yoga-māyā cannot decide. The energy of the Lord cannot decide that. The way the cloud cannot decide. But if the sun becomes more brighter, and even though there is cloud, we can see the sun. So similarly, if Krishna instructs yoga-māyā, so here yoga-māyā is not the yoga-māyā generally what we talk about. We think that yoga-māyā is for the devotees and mahamāyā is for non-devotees. But here this is for non-devotees. Here it is spoken that, Prabhupada writes in the Purport that he manifests himself to his devotees, but to unintelligent non-devotees he is covered by his internal potency. So here the word yoga-māyā includes both. It is not just limiting to yoga-māyā. Because mahamāyā is included in this word when yoga-māyā is used in this shloka. So we were discussing the example of sun and the cloud. So somebody might not think that because cloud is in between and sun is hidden behind the cloud, so cloud is more powerful than the sun. It is not like that. Like for example, this is a small kartal. Even if I take a smaller thing and try to hide my eyes, I cannot see the object if my hand is very near. But if my hand goes distance, then despite my hand is here, still I can see that air condition. So if we are nearer to the illusory energy, if we are nearer to Maya, Maya means that which is not, then we are farther away from the Lord. So if the cloud is nearer to us, right now the cloud is nearer to us or cloud is nearer to the sun? Cloud is nearer to us because sun is way far beyond. So because this is nearer to us, we cannot see the sun. So we have to get away from this material energy to be able to see the Lord. This is how we have to understand this. It's not that yoga-māyā or the energy of the Lord is more powerful than the energetic Lord himself, that they have hidden, they are acting as a curtain in between. No, it is our wishful decision that we are allowing it to be near to us. Like we have heard sometimes in the class that one person is holding the tree and he was shouting that the tree is not leaving me. But actually it is not the case. The person was holding the tree. The moment you leave it, you are free. Similarly, the moment we start following the instructions given in the Bhagavad-gītā, we can see Krishna as Krishna wants himself to be revealed to us, not as we want to see Krishna. So we will read from one of the Srila Prabhupada class where he's emphasizing on this point. So this example of sun and cloud makes little clarity about the position of the Lord and the energy of the Lord yoga-māyā, which is acting as a covering. So, yeah, and there is one more slok here which talks about the same thing. Here Prabhupada writes, Srimad Bhagavatam 1.18.19, we will read from that. This is prayers of Kunti Maharani in first canto. So, here she says that, being beyond the range of limited sense perception, you are the eternally irreproachable factor covered by the curtain of deluding energy. Same thing she is telling. You are invisible to the foolish observer, exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. So here the analogy given is of actor. But the point Kunti Maharani is trying to emphasize is same. So what, sometimes when we meet a person, for example, I meet Dharmatma Prabhu. So nobody will like to tell much about himself. He will tell a bit information that my name is Dharmatma, I live in Vrindavan, I am serving here, but he might not describe his qualities at length. But if you meet the secretary of the person, and if you tell that I met, so and so person, and he gave me his visiting card, so then that secretary or the person or the friend can give more information of the qualities. Similarly, the devotees of the Lord, they can give full description of the Lord. So here Kunti Maharani is further explaining the same point as a position of a devotee. As Krishna says, Bhaktya Mām abhijānāti. So if you want to know the Lord, the process is to know Him through the devotees of the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada is quoting this verse that Kunti Maharani is also explaining the same point, giving equal emphasis, and the example she is giving is of an actor. Exactly as an actor dressed as a player is not recognized. So here it's a nice purport. I would like to read how Krishna was performing different drama. Nobody knew that Krishna is Supreme Personality at that time, as Prabhupada writes in this Gita purport also. In the Bhagavad-gītā, Lord Krishna affirms that the less intelligent person mistake him to be an ordinary man like us. It is given in Bhagavad-gītā. The same is confirmed here by Kunti. Such persons are known as asuras. The asuras cannot recognize the Lord's authority. When the Lord Himself appears among us as Ram, Narsingha, Vara, or His original form as Krishna, He performs many wonderful acts which are humanly impossible. As we shall find in the 10th canto of this great literature, Lord Krishna exhibited His humanly impossible activities even from the day of His lying on the lap of mother. So it starts from killing of Putana. Putana came to kill the Lord, but Putana was killed by the Lord. Still, nobody could understand that He is Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the covering is talked about here. The non-devotees could not understand. It was so simple now. How can a small child just born kill such a big demon? But because of that potency, the covering, people could not understand. Then many things happened. Then the Lord sucked, she is killed. He lifted the Govardhan hill. Indra, just imagine. He is one of the greatest demigod. He knew Krishna is a Supreme Personality, but out of arrogance, situation, he forgot and he challenged the situation, and Krishna was lifting comfortably 7 days like a child holding an umbrella. Still, Kansa could not get even the smallest of the clue that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is what this covering is spoken about. The unintelligent and the foolish cannot. They cannot understand this. These are some of the superhuman activities described in the authoritative Vedic literatures like Puranas and Itihas. He has delivered wonderful instructions in the shape of Bhagavad-gītā. If somebody can just read Bhagavad-gītā and understand what a knowledge it is, he will immediately appreciate that not a normal person can do this. Only the Supreme Personality. So these are simple examples through which we can understand that Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. But this covering is working in between. If we are not in a situation to receive the mercy of the Lord, or our preparedness is not there to be submissive to the Lord, Krishna will not reveal himself to us. So, the important thing here is not endeavor, because in the materialistic world we are taught about to endeavor. If you want to achieve something, put your endeavor. But here endeavor won't work. We have to work on changing our consciousness, changing our mindset, changing our mood, as per the teachings of the Lord, as per the instructions of the Lord, not as per our understanding. So, even Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that, don't try to see God. Try to serve so that God may see you. That is the way, that is the process. No endeavor can ensure you that you will see God. No endeavor. Impossible. Krishna was right before everybody in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. But how many could understand that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead? Right before there. No curtain was there as such. Nobody could understand. Further, he is accepted as Supreme Personality by authoritative personalities, as we read in Bhagavad-gītā also. These personalities like Vyasa, Devala, Sita, Narada, Madhava, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and all other authorities of the line. He himself has declared as much in many places of the authentic literatures. And yet there is a class of man with demoniac mentality who are always reluctant to accept the Lord as a supreme absolute truth. So, it's not that in this regards that Kali Yuga is something special. This was happening in Satya Yuga. There were demons not ready to accept their God as Supreme Personality. In Treta Yuga, in Dwapar Yuga, in Kali Yuga, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself appeared as Supreme Personality, nobody could understand that. So, we require special mercy of the Lord so that we can see the Lord. None of the endeavor can ensure that. Going forward, Prabhupada writes in this purport, this is partially due to their, now he is giving the reason why this is happening. This is partially due to their poor fund of knowledge and partially due to their stubborn obstinacy. So number one reason given is basically ignorance, poor fund of knowledge. So out of ignorance, people don't understand that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And number two is obstinacy, means hurt. I am what I am, I am not going to change my mindset. So Duryodhana was clear. No, he is an ordinary person. We want the kingdom, I want to become the king. Even Krishna came himself, he was not ready to accept the proposal, he wanted the battlefield. So they are not ready to change. So this is that category, foolish and unintelligent. Even though it is said, Ekala Ishvara Krishna or Sabhrutya, they will say, no. कोई भी रास्ते में चलो भगवान के पास पहुंच जाए. Go on any path, you will reach to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But what Krishna is saying very clearly, that if you worship the demigod, you will go to the planet of demigod. If you worship me, you will come to my planet. But this foolish and intelligent will not accept that. They will say, no. We know what is right. Krishna is glorifying himself. He is just, trying to say that he is the best. Although koi bhi bole, anybody would say that I am the best. But this is out of causeless mercy, Krishna is telling this, that they cannot understand. Because they are endeavoring on their own. They are not ready to be submissive. They are not ready to have that consciousness to accept Krishna, because they are trying to, Prabhupada gives the example of bottle honey. If you want to taste the honey, you can't taste it by licking the bottle from outside. So if you want to understand Bhagavad-gītā, you have to accept from the word go that Krishna is the Supreme Personality. If you accept him as that authority, the way Arjuna did, Arjuna was not ready to accept. Initially it was a friendly talk. They were talking like friends. But then Krishna says, okay, let's continue the talk. But then his Gandiva was falling. In a way, somebody, if challenges him to put the Gandiv, he has a vow that he will kill him. But here is a situation where he himself was not competent to hold the Gandiva. And then he surrenders to the Lord as authority. He accepts him as the Guru. Then Krishna reveals the knowledge to him. So it is important for the readers, for the listeners, to accept the authority of Krishna. And then if Krishna wishes so, he might reveal his form to us. Yeah, we will read further. Another difficulty is that those who depend more on the such persons could not recognize Lord Sri Krishna even when he was present before them. Another difficulty is that those who depend more on the imperfect senses cannot realize him as a Supreme Lord. Such persons are like modern scientists. So, current mindset of the world is depending on modern scientists. So, Prabhupada is using the word modern scientist. So, he is not against science, because Shastra is the best science, but he is using the word modern scientist. So, modern scientist has given many theories which are itself challenging amongst themselves. One scientist says something, the another will prove something. They are evolving to a perfectional stage. So they themselves are imperfect because they are given by persons who themselves are imperfect. But Shastra is a perfect science which is given by a Paurushe. He is beyond these three modes of material nature, who is beyond any rules and regulations, who is perfect in all regards. So whatever we hear from Krishna in Bhagavad-gītā is what we have to adjust in our mindsets now, because we are trained in a way in this society and we are accustomed to be living like that, we are accustomed to taking decisions like that, but we have to change that. So such persons are like modern scientists. They want to know everything by their experimental knowledge, but it is not possible to know the Supreme Person by imperfect experimental knowledge. He is described herein as adhokshaja, or beyond the range of experimental knowledge. All our senses are imperfect. We claim to observe everything and anything, but we must admit that we can observe things under certain material conditions only, which are beyond our control. As I was telling, if I am holding something near to my eyes, I cannot see things which are little far. But as this goes little beyond, then I can see the far of things. So this material situation is what is hiding things from us. So we have to go beyond this and try to perceive the way Krishna wants us to perceive. So this is a lecture by Prabhupada on the same verse, where he is making some points on this shlok. He says that Krishna is everywhere. See, Krishna is everywhere. But because we don't have that vision, like he used to say, when we go on the ocean, we can glorify the Lord thinking that who can make so much of water, To make water, we know that we require hydrogen and oxygen. But can the science make ocean? It's not possible. So it is created by the Lord. Sun and the moon, they are like working 24 hours for providing food to us. The sun gives growth, the moon gives juice to the plants, and they are compared to be the eyes of the Lord. So if they are not there, how will our food be growing? So through this, even in this shloka, it is described many ways that I am the taste of the water. So many examples are given. So by understanding these things, we can appreciate the presence of the Lord everywhere around us. Everywhere around us. So Prabhupada says Krishna is everywhere, but why can't you see him? Antar bahir avasthitam. Krishna is within and without. Anyone can see him, but he cannot be seen by the non-devotees. He is not exposed to everyone. He is simply exposed to the devotee. Premanjan churita bhakti vilochanena. The non-devotees cannot see him. Nāhaṁ prakāśaḥ sarvasya. Unless Krishna agrees to be seen, you cannot see him. You cannot force him to be seen by you. Swayameva spurati yada. When he likes, he will be seen by you. You cannot say, now I am qualified. We cannot say this. Krishna must come and I will see him. We are never qualified unless Krishna agrees to be seen. So this is very, very important principle. As a devotee, we all need to cultivate this, that basically this is the principle of submissiveness and humility, and principle of being surrendered to the devotees so that they can be merciful to us. Through them, we can try to understand the Lord and we can progress forward in this path of Krishna consciousness. further Prabhupada says, to know Krishna ordinary, Krishna was born in India, in Mathura, he was the son of such and such, he was a very big man. He is not tattvataha. Tattvataha means Sachidanand Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karana. So to know Krishna, there are many Vedic literatures, and we have to know them through the mercy of spiritual master. So this is what is required. So without being in the authorized parampara, without being blessed by a spiritual master, it is difficult to understand Krishna. Tad vignānārtham sa gurum eva abhigachet. Everything is there, just as Krishna is there in the Bhagavad-gītā, but people could not understand him. Now we are presenting Krishna as he is, and people are understanding and becoming devotees. So see, Krishna, Bhagavad-gītā was always there, but after a bona fide spiritual master in the form of Srila Prabhupada, when he went to America, people could understand Krishna. People could understand Krishna consciousness. People could understand the teachings of Bhagavad-gītā. That is the potency of spiritual master. They are blessed by the Lord, they are authorized by the Lord to propagate this message on his behalf. So we have to go through the right channel, and then we will know Krishna. And as soon as you know Krishna as he is, your life is successful. That is the aim of this Krishna consciousness movement, simply to help people to know Krishna. So this is the only objective, or it is the only main purpose. Srila Prabhupada started ISKCON to help people to know Krishna as he wants to reveal about himself. So Prabhupada titled this Bhagavad-gītā, Bhagavad-gītā as it is. Not that Bhagavad-gītā as per me. It is as per Sri Krishna, as per the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is why it has that potency. That is why we see that in this whole world, this is the most widely read Bhagavad-gītā. And in this wonderful month of Gita Marathon, all the temples of the world are in a competition mood to serve the Lord better. And they are distributing this Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad-gītā profusely so that millions of people can understand these teachings and can join this family started by Srila Prabhupada. So this is a very, very important message. There is one more shloka in this. This is from Bhagavatam also. This is Brahma's prayer, 10.14.7. Here Brahmaji was also bewildered. See, these are great personalities. Here the examples Prabhupada has used in this purport are not ordinary. First he quoted Indra, and now he is quoting Brahma, who is the creator of this material world, certainly under the instructions of the Lord, as is discussed in Bhagavatam. When Narada asked Brahmaji that, how can I understand that are you the real creator? Then Brahmaji says, no, you are intelligent, you have understood, I am not the creator. The real creator is Krishna. I am just his instrument. So this is Canto 10, Chapter 14, Text 7. Here it is written, in time, learned philosophers or scientists might be able to count all the atoms of the earth. Just see what capacity is explained here. They will be able to count the atoms of the earth. This is possible. The particles of snow, or perhaps even the shining molecules radiating from the sun, that also they might be able to count. The stars and the other luminaries. But among these learned men, who could possibly count the unlimited qualities possessed by you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have descended on the surface of the earth for the benefit of all living entities? Just see the kind of example. When you see the sun rays, you see so many molecules in the rays. Here Brahmaji is telling, maybe they will be able to count this. Maybe they will be able to count the dust existing on the whole planet. But how will they be able to know the qualities of you? So this is from Brahmaji. And he is realizing this after he tried to steal those calves and the coward boys. And he realized that it is not possible to understand the Lord. Only by the mercy of the Lord we can understand the Lord. So if we try to know the Lord, we will fall in the category of foolish and unintelligent by our endeavor. But if we follow the process of Bhagavad-gītā, if we follow the process of chanting as prescribed by the Acharya Srila Prabhupada, if we follow the practice of devotional service, then Krishna might someday feel that this soul is sincere, and he might reveal himself to us. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Any comment? Anybody has any comment? Any questions? It's a late class. But it was a nice look. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad-gītā ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.